to your town the thrill of a lifetime, the unparalleled, the inimical, unrivaled Empire Circus. Come in your thousands and enjoy this feast of equine dexterity and acrobatic marvels that we shall place before your astounded gaze. Never before in the history of this town has such a gay galaxy of talent, honor, and beauty been set before you.
£9 in coppers. Was it 8? Where have you been?
Having a drink with one of the Lions. What do you think I've been doing?
Well, you better start counting tonight's takings. I can't figure them out, and I've counted them 10 times.
Why 10 times? Wouldn't once be enough?
Not when it comes out different every time. I'm your wife, not a chartered accountant.
I only asked you to do it as a favor.
You're always asking favors. I done you a favor when I married you.
Blimey.
That's a fact. And you know it. Colonel William Wainwright. Colonel, indeed.
Doesn't mean a thing. It doesn't mean a thing. That's just showmanship.
False pretenses.
What about Lord George Sanger?
That's different. He was christened Lord. It was his name.
How do you know I wasn't christened Colonel?
Doubt if you was christened at all.
Now, look here, madam. Are you inferring that
Yes, I am. Better check over tonight's doings.
All right, all right. Can't something be done about this table?
It rocks.
I know it rocks.
One of the legs is shorter than the other.
Oh, one, you surprise me. This chair.
It rocks.
Everything rocks. The show rocks.
Better pick up that money. I've got to see about supper.
Married to a woman who can't do a little simple arithmetic. Oh, hello, Mr. Danton. Just making up the gross.
Yeah. Under £12. That's not the eighth, is it, Willie?
We're all doing our best, but the show lacks novelty.
Supper's ready, Colonel Wainwright.
Supper. Can't you think of nothing else but my stomach?
Isn't it time for you to introduce Tom and Mary?
This eye in the finance is making me forgetful. You know, Mr. Danton, sir, my heart bleeds for you.
Yeah? You don't look very anemic to me. Willie, tell the gang I want to see them all right after the show.
Blimey. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor of the most daring, the most brilliant, the most sensational act ever presented. 2 young acrobats, as agile as they are handsome. Ladies and gentlemen, the Flying Aerials. Boss wants to see everyone after the show.
What's this mean? A fold-up?
I don't know. Doesn't mean a thing. Come on, get a move on, everybody. The governor wants you all over by the vans.
This way, out,
Put a jerk in it.
Come along, come along. This way. This way out, please. Hurry on, everybody. Hurry on. Come on, move on. Move on now.
He's got a lot to whistle about. He doesn't realize, poor fella.
Are you the boss?
Well, to a certain extent. That's to say I'm,
Are you the boss?
He's not the boss and he's not a colonel.
Where do I find the boss?
Well, I'm his right-hand man, as you might say. What do you want?
A job.
What a hope. We're not hiring, we're firing.
Will he want a job too?
Somebody's told him what the takings were.
I'd be willing to work for my keep.
It's no good, old man. What's that? A mirror. What's it for?
Or for shaving.
Now, come on. You're going to be all night on the job. Don't keep the governor waiting.
Well, folks, my brother and I have called you here, and I suppose you know the reason why. We're broke. That's nothing new in our business, but when it happens, the show usually folds up and the boys and girls go their different ways. Once in a while, you're able to pull out, but that's only once in a while. Now, you weren't paid today because there was nothing to pay you with. We had to feed the animals. Now, we could carry on to the next stand, but there's no ready cash. Now, let's face it. We can keep going on a hope, or I can write out a flock of IOUs and we can all turn around and head for home. Now, it's up to you. What about it?
Shorty's got no hope.
Let's keep going.
I'm sticking to you, boss.
Yes.
That's swell. Well, now that we're all in this together, I'll let you in on my plans. When we get to the next dump...
Say, boss, that lion, he broke loose.
All the women get in the vans. Come on, Gifford.
Hey, Pasha, get down! Pasha, get down! Keep clear, all of you.
Get back, everybody.
Give
Get
me
back.
some room.
Hans, Lofty, get a net and work around behind him.
Pasha, get! Pasha!
Shit. Get back! Right back, all of you! Pasha. Quiet. Quiet. Poor Pasha. I am Thor. I am your friend. Now lie down. 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 Good, Pasha. Soon we shall go to our cage. What a good fellow is Pasha. Yes. What a good fellow, Pasha. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce two friends, Mr. Pasha and Mr. Thor.
Why, it's terrific. How'd you do it?
Oh, it's very simple. I make them obey my eyes, I make them like my voice, and then they do what I want them to do.
You mean you get them hypnotized?
Hypnotized. Hypnotized. That's something new.
I'm getting a new trainer, and I have an idea who it's going to be.
Who do you mean, this fella?
That's the guy.
Pasha, I am your friend.
It's certainly a new way of taming lions.
I never saw anything work so wonderful in my life. Pasha fell in love with him.
Phil, I've got a marvelous idea.
We know.
Now listen, the show's dying. We need novelty, something new, thrilling,
Stupendous.
smashing, sensational. I'm going to crash.
Darling, calm yourself.
Thanks very much. Now listen, Mary, Phil, Tom. I'm going to crash the local rag with this lion story. A lot of the boys have already seen what happened, and the news will soon get round. And then, mes amis, that's French for buddies, we put Torg into the show with the lions.
You know, I think that's pretty good, Phil.
Just a minute. I've got a better idea. And it depends on Torg. It depends on whether Torg is just a man from nowhere with a gift of controlling animals, or whether he has a gift of controlling people.
What are you trying to get at?
Hypnotism in the slide for life. Mary, what do you do in your act?
Don't be silly, Phil. You all know what I do.
Tell us what you do.
Well, I get onto a platform at the top of a high wire, listen to Willie's baloney, then get onto the wire with my back to the ground, hold my little parasol, and slide safely down to earth.
And why do you hold your parasol?
To keep my balance, you half-wit.
And if you didn't have it?
Curtains for Mary.
Unless something or someone takes its place.
Oh, I get it now. Mary does her act holding a dainty lace handkerchief in one hand, half a hundredweight of coal in the other, just to keep her balance. Is that it?
Well, if you're going to rib me for having a swell idea, good night.
Phil, I've got you. What, are you crazy too?
Now, just a minute, Tom. Phil's serious. He's trying to help.
Thanks, Mary. What I'm trying to explain is, I believe it might be possible for Torg to control Mary's balance in the act through hypnotism.
Ah, it's a lot of hooey.
Is it? They do it on the stage.
Yeah, I know. Make some unfortunate guy drink ink and kid him it's port. Very funny. Ha, ha. There's a lot in it, I can tell you.
Torg! Somebody find him for me.
Okay, Gov.
Anybody know where this chap came from?
Oh, he just came around looking for a job, I suppose, and then did his stuff with Pasha.
I wonder if it can be done. It's an idea, Phil. It's an exciting idea.
If it works, what a build-up. We've got the public to prove that it's on the level. They saw it work with Pasha, didn't they? It's a great idea. If it works.
You sent for me, sir.
Yes, come in. Have a drink?
I do not drink, thank you.
Where do you come from?
Oh, nowhere.
What have you been doing?
Nothing.
Are you looking for a job?
Yes, sir. Any kind of job.
Are you an animal trainer?
Oh, no. I'm just, anything.
No trade?
No. I managed to get along.
That hypnotism act you just did with Pasha, can you do that with human beings?
Oh, yes.
On the level?
You doubt my word?
Oh, no, man. What the governor really means is that he's found a meal ticket in you.
Well, that's putting it rather crude, but I suppose you're right.
And you think I might be able to help you?
We want to cash in on these hypnotic powers of yours. No one seems to have cashed in on them yet.
I haven't commercialized myself yet.
No, that's obvious.
I'm in the way. Excuse me. Good night.
Wait, please, Mr. Torg. Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
Let me explain. Have you ever seen an act called The Slide for Life?
You mean the one with the wire? Yes.
Well, Tom and I do that act. I'm on the wire and Tom catches me at the finish. And I carry a parasol for balance. The boys suggest you try to use hypnotism to make me do the slide without a parasol.
Somebody has a brainwave.
It was the governor.
But I do not know whether Miss Mary is a good subject.
Well, why not find out now?
The whole damn thing's unhealthy.
Listen, Tom, this is for all our sakes. If Miss Mary's willing, why not show her something?
I'm perfectly willing.
Then, with your permission.
Not mine.
Now, Tom, please, this is my affair.
Now look into this little mirror. Just try to make your mind a blank. Think of nothing. Nothing. Imagine space. Emptiness. Dark. Now look into my eyes. Deep. Deep. I am Torg. Who am I?
Torg.
Say, I trust you.
I trust you.
Miss Mary, you cannot lift your right arm. It is heavy as lead. No, sir. Will you try to lift Miss Mary's arm?
Me?
Yes.
It's a hot one. This whole blasted nonsense has got to stop.
Why, of course. Miss Mary, your arm is normal. Now wake up. Wake up.
Hello, everyone.
Mary, are you all right?
Yes, of course, I feel fine. How was it?
It works.
It certainly does.
It's very well unhealthy, I tell you. It's a damn sight more unhealthy to be out of a job.
Miss Tom, you've got to admit that.
I won't admit it. I'm going to have you used as a medium for some tram. Yes.
Tom, you're behaving like a child.
Listen, if Mary's willing to take the risk, that ends the argument. We can try it out anyway with a safety net. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So what?
I'm quite willing.
Thank you for your confidence.
That settles it. You three can have a workout tomorrow morning in the big top.
I still don't like it.
Oh, don't you? Well, I do. Oh, Governor, will I go to town with a publicity stunt? Or will I go to town?
Oh, go to hell.
There's no need of you all standing around watching this rehearsal. Get on with your work. You'll see the act when it's all set.
Now, you heard what the governor said. There's no need to hang about watching the rehearsal. Get on with your work.
Shut up. The boss said all that.
Look here, Phil, I naturally don't want the show busted and the boys and girls on their uppers. But I repeat, I'm rehearsing this stunt under protest.
I won't let anybody take a risk, particularly Miss Mary. So Mr. Denton is having the net put up.
That's right. Eddie, Bill, fix up the safety net.
Right.
Come on, let's clear out.
But you can't do the show with a net.
But if we rehearse several times and have the show perfected, will that relieve your anxiety?
No, I'm still not sold on this hokum. I'm sure Mary can't do it without the parasol.
We shall see.
Well, hadn't we better stop talking about it and get on with the job?
See, my dear, I'm as nervous as if I was going to do that myself. I think I'll just pop out and get a little air.
No, you don't. Besides, they're not open yet.
I can assure you that I've...
You can't.
In that case, there's nothing more to be said.
Excuse me, Governor. Let's get out the way. Tom, you stand at the end of the wire over there.
Okay.
Well, Torg, we're in your hands.
Thank you. I shall stand on that platform, facing Miss Mary, who will be under my control. With my influence, she will have perfect balance until the slide has been completed.
We hope.
Well, there's nothing like confidence, and you've got plenty of that.
Mary, are you sure?
I shall be all right.
Go to it.
Phil, if this comes off, I've worked out the most sensational bill matter you've ever seen. The public will start paying before the posters are out.
Let's see if it does work first.
You ink slingers make me sick. You don't give a damn if that kid crashes so long as it's news.
Well, I like that. I'm a publicity man.
You're a pain in the neck.
Here, here.
I'll chin you as soon as look at you, you pompous, pot-bellied polony.
Oh, no, you won't. If anybody chins him, it'll be me.
Thanks.
Now, look here.
Cut it out. You fixed?
That's all, Governor.
You all set?
Okay, boss.
They're ready.
Now, Mary, look at this and keep on looking at it. You have utter and complete confidence in me. You trust me, don't you?
Yes.
Me, Torg. No other mind can ever dominate you. No other living person can have any influence upon you. You will only hear my voice. All other voices and sounds will not exist for you. You are at peace. Now, Mary, you are going to do your wire slide now without any balancing control but mine. Now open your eyes. Open your eyes. You are confident.
I'm confident.
Now get onto the wire. Go.
He's right. She's done it.
Got a match, chum.
I have not. And my name is not Chum. It's Torg. Mr. Torg.
I can take care of myself. Oh, good morning. Talk of the devil.
You were talking about me?
We were.
I'm honored.
I was just saying how dangerous it might be having a pet mesmerist about the place.
I'm not a pet mesmerist. I'm a specialist. What are you, by the way?
I'm a sharp shooting act, and a pretty good one.
Oh. You have no ill effects after our experiment?
None whatever.
Good. I knew you wouldn't. Miss Mary, I feel that this is just the beginning.
You've got quite an idea about yourself, haven't you?
Yes? Morning.
You know, Mary, a little while ago, that was begging for work. The conceit of the man.
Hypnotism. Breathtaking, spellbinding, colossal. How many L's in colossal?
One, like in Colonel.
Now, they've all been used before. Why can't I think of other highly colored words?
Public don't want highly colored words. Not the kind of public we play to.
Well, they must be educated up to a higher standard. After all, I'm an artist. Now, why? You're going to give me an inferiority complex. Before I know where I am, I shall find myself a nervous wreck.
What's that you're drinking?
This? Well, as a matter of fact, it's a tonic. I've been feeling a bit run down lately, and a doctor I met, a very nice fellow, he recommended this in case of fainting fits.
Give it to me.
Well, if you can see for yourself, it's a medicine bottle, doesn't mean a thing.
Give it to me. Gin.
Oh, Evie, what a wicked waste. Now, that costs...
I know what it costs, and I need new corsets. If ever I catch you squandering your money again on alcohol, Colonel Wainwright, I shall thrash you.
Somebody throwing a party?
No, sir. Evie's been throwing a temperament.
Temperance, William, not temperament.
Willie, it seems to me you're henpecked.
Henpecked. Blimey, I've got chicken pox.
Have you got the announcement of Miss Mary and Torg ready for tonight?
No, I can't think of sufficient eugenic words.
Eulogistic.
Oh, eulogistic.
That's it. Doctor? Stephen? Torg. Then splash underneath Dr. Stephen Torg and Miss Mary, move up the force sensations into that space, and Bob's your uncle. Carry on.
There you are.
Yes, not bad, not bad. But I don't like the colour scheme. Get on to Bill and tell him to meet me in the local at lunchtime. I want to have a chat with him.
Okay.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Hello, news editor? News editor. This is Powers. No, Powers. P for Percy, O for Orange, W for Waters, E for Ernest, R for Robert, S for Sammy. Just a minute, please. Danton Circus. Miraculous is the word, gentlemen. Now, this isn't sales talk. Bigger men than Phil Danton have spent a lifetime searching the world for sensational novelties. But I promise you that after you've seen tonight's performance, you will all agree with me that no one in any show business has staged a more breathtaking spectacle. This is fact, not fiction. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's to the show. After the Rico Act,
And if you don't tell me it's the best act ever, I'll eat this hat. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to my governor, Mr. Phil Danton.
Gentlemen.
Miss Mary, Mr. Tom Danton, and Dr. Stephen Torp. Well, Mr. Danton, I understand you've got a very sensational act.
You're right. There's not another act in the country like it.
What did I tell you?
That must be a very comforting thought to any showman.
Well, I've been looking for a novelty like this for years. It certainly comforts me.
Boys and girls, my friends.
That's better. He's come down to earth.
Order. I wish to propose the health of our dear governor, Phil Danton. We all love him. And apart from any personal interest we may have, we're all delighted that fortune has smiled upon him. I remember many years ago when I was a lad.
What a memory.
When I was a lad, I heard a funny little story which I think will bear repeating. It would appear that there was a commercial traveller.
That's enough. You've been drinking.
Of course I've been drinking. What we expect to do at a party, die of thirst. In proposing the health...
That's all right, honey. That's all right. I appreciate you proposing my health, but I feel we should thank the real founders of this feast, Mary and Torg.
Here, here.
Oh, of course, Tom.
Oh, forget it.
The success of this new act has put us all on our feet. So, boys and girls, I ask you to raise your glasses and drink to the long life and good fortune of our Mary and our very welcome stranger, Torg.
Mary and Tom.
Oh, we mustn't forget the brains of the outfit. The greatest little publicity man in the business, Jimmy Powers.
Doesn't mean a thing. Doesn't mean a thing.
Gag pincher.
First dance. This is ours, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, Tom, I'm so sorry. I promised this one to Talk.
Talk. Fast worker, isn't he?
Well, after all, he's new amongst us. I think we ought to make him feel at home.
Sure, yes, anything you say.
You don't mind, do you?
What is the demand? Of course I don't.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
I'll see you later, Tom.
You're knocking him back a bit, aren't you, Dora?
Hmm?
Keep those nerves steady of yours for that shooting act, you know.
My nerve's all right. It's other people's nerve I worry about.
Well, whose?
Trying to guess? Listen, Jimmy. I've trooped around with Phil Danton for years because I wanted to. It is the first time he's had enough money to throw a party. I suppose I ought to be glad.
Well, aren't you glad?
No, I don't like the way this success has come.
You mean the new act?
I mean Mr. Tall. I don't like him, Jimmy. He gives me the creeps. I can't explain why. Oh, I'm not afraid about what he might do to the show. The show can take care of itself. It's Mary I'm worried about. I don't want that kid to pay for our success.
Oh, come on, Dora. You've had a couple too many.
Times like these when I speak the truth. Get me another drink.
Well,
Dora, you enjoying yourself?
How much?
What's the matter?
That guy. It's going to cause you trouble.
Don't be silly. His act's sensational.
I'm not talking about the act.
No? You're talking about me, aren't you?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I am. I don't like you.
At least that's frank. I appreciate it.
I do not like thee, Dr. Fell. The reason why, I cannot tell. Remember that jingle?
I'm not familiar with it.
You should be.
Come on, Dora. Snap out of it.
All right, Phil, just a minute. I've got nothing against you, but I've got a feeling right inside me that it was a bad day for the show and a worse one for Mary when you came along.
Dora, be quiet. Now, you don't know what you're talking about.
Don't I? You wait.
Strike up the music. Come on, we'll dance this.
Shall we? If you'll excuse us, by all means.
Well, well, well. The lady gunman. You certainly shot the works last night. Now, listen, Dora. Togg's our meal ticket. You've got to lay off him. He's
dangerous.
Dynamite. Thanks. And, hey, Phil.
Yeah.
Look, I've just left the press boys. We've got to headline Tog. He's the whole works.
What?
Well, I mean you, him, and Mary.
Just a minute. I'm running my own show.
I know, Phil, I know. I'm only trying to help you. Listen, let's bill him as Svengali II.
What a brainwave.
Yes.
Why don't you think of something new?
Yes. That reminds me. I have got something new. Come over here.
What is it?
A laughing sailor. I got it from some waxwork show. Did you fix it, Danny?
Yes, it's okay.
Good. What do you think of it?
Well, what does it do?
Well, it laughs.
I can't hear anything.
Well, of course you can't, you fathead. It isn't switched on yet.
What'd you pay for it?
25 quid.
25 quid? You can start another circus with that.
How does it work?
You switch it on from the back. Try it, boss.
He's laughing. He's
That's a pretty good stunt.
What should we call him?
Jolly Jack Tall.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Mr. Danton.
Cigarette?
You satisfied with everything?
Sure, I've nothing to complain about. Pretty good, eh?
Cheap.
It cost £25.
Cheap publicity. I am the attraction, and I am not satisfied.
Meaning?
Can we have a talk inside?
Come in. Well, how much do you want?
Oh, it isn't that exactly.
No? Then what is it?
Recognition. I'd like more recognition.
Recognition? Well, get Powers to work up a story about you. He's my press agent.
Oh, not from the public. One has that. I'd like more recognition from the people in this circus, Mr. Danton. And respect.
Respect? That's something we all have to earn. After all, I buy my people's services, not their freedom of thought.
You mean I enable you to buy their services?
Listen, Torg, if you're trying to put a gun in my ribs...
The gun is already there, Mr. Danton. I'm trying not to pull the trigger.
All right. What's the proposition?
Oh, it's not very difficult. I'd like to be your partner.
You would, eh? On what terms?
That I'll leave to you. I'm not a businessman.
Tom's in on this, you know.
Naturally, but you are the boss.
Don't ever forget that.
Of course not. I have the power to command success, Mr. Danton. I can do a lot for you. And Mary.
And Tom.
And Tom, naturally. We mustn't forget Tom. You will think it over?
Yes, I'll think it over. Torg.
Thank you. Tonight we shall have good business. You wait and see. Trouble? You talk very boldly.
I have a good mind to take a sock at you right now.
Tom, for heaven's sake, be quiet.
You keep out of this. We've got trouble already working with this slug. Get in there.
But I advise you to be careful.
And I advise you to keep your nose out of my business and Mary's. Everything was okay till you showed up.
Except that you were starving.
Stop it, both of you. The show.
To hell with the show. No one's got the guts to rub this thing out. I'll do it myself.
Just a minute. I'll settle this. Get out, Mary. Now get this, you two. One more of these brawls and you're through. Both of you. I don't care what happens to the show. You're supposed to be troopers. Don't forget that. Now get back on the job.
Okay. You're the boss.
And as for you, Torg...
I agree with you, Mr. Danton. It is bad policy in front of the customers. And the name is Mr. Torg.
Nice business tonight, Phil.
I seem to have heard that somewhere before.
What do you want?
Only to say that I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry about tonight. I should have had more sense.
All right, I'd forgotten about it.
No, you haven't. I know you haven't.
Do you? You seem to know a great deal.
Yes, a great deal. Even your thoughts.
Please go away.
That wouldn't make any difference, Mary. Because even if I went away, you would not be alone. I'm your friend. You need never be afraid of me.
I'm not afraid.
Oh, you're cold.
No. No, I think it must have been someone walking over my grave.
Speak, speak to me, Farrar. Speak once again.
Hold your tongue.
What did you say?
You heard. Your voice is terrible.
Ghastly. Well, if a bloke tries to be happy, you give him the bird. Blimey. Jolly Jack talk.
I wonder who he hypnotized to get that.
Some poor girl named Trilby. Have you caught the whistle?
Yeah.
Now, that's a nice bit of stuff.
Cut it out.
Did you? Didn't know you were in the tailoring game.
Where's the fire? How much is it to speak to you now, Torgy, old boy?
More than you or this riffraff can afford.
Now, look here.
Willie, come here and finish the washing up.
Where is Miss Mary? In the big top, working.
Dressed to kill, aren't you?
I know who I'd like to kill.
As a lady killer, you'd be a scream.
I've seen fellows like him on the pictures.
Mary,
Oh, hello. My goodness me, you are a swell.
I have been doing a little refitting. I thought I deserve it now that we are in the money.
Where did you get that suit? You only want a few stars on it for the band to play Yankee Doodle.
As a comedian, you are a very fine acrobat. I have invested in something else, too.
Sounds exciting. What is it?
Come outside, I'll show you.
Is this the investment?
Yes? You like her?
I think she's lovely. But isn't it rather extravagant and unnecessary?
It cost £40, and I think it very necessary.
Why?
Oh, to satisfy my ego, I guess. Make this crowd of troopers a little envious. Call it conceit, if you like. But I'm sick of being treated like a tramp.
Well, don't you think that may be a little your fault? After all, you're not exactly what you'd call a good mixer, are you?
They don't interest me. They don't talk my language, you know. But I think you understand me.
Yes, I think I do a little.
Listen, one night this week after the show, will you let me drive you into the town? Will you have supper with me?
That's very sweet of you. But really, it's so late when the show finishes. And...
Mary, have you forgotten you've got to do a show tonight?
I think you mean we have got to do a show.
All right, we've got to do a show, but Mary has to take the physical risk. We've got 20 minutes for rehearsing.
I've done enough rehearsing. I'll see you later. And thanks for the invitation.
Will you come?
I'll certainly think about it.
What's all this about an invitation?
That's my business.
Is it? I think it's my business, too, and I hate to see you...
You all seem to hate that little man for no apparent rhyme or reason. Unless it is the fact you resent his having put butter on our bread, made us a success instead of one of the biggest flops in the business.
I think most of us preferred the bread without the butter.
You're jealous, that's your trouble.
Maybe I'm at that. Mary, look, I know we're not actually engaged, but it was understood.
It was never understood that you should run my life for me.
Well, what's the trouble?
Oh, the usual trouble. Your white-headed boy, Torg.
What's he done now?
Oh, apart from causing hell's delight between Mary and me, nothing, absolutely nothing. Never does a stroke of work. Never pulls his weight with packing, tent erecting, or clearing up. Now, if you please, he's swanking around in a second-hand car.
Well, that's his own affair, Tom.
But shirking work is not. It's mine and everybody else's around here. You make him a partner without even consulting me, okay. But why do you think he's immune from an ordinary spot of hard work?
Just a minute. Don't get excited. I agree with everything you say. But if we throw him out, what happens to the show? It falls up.
I know. Same line of talk that Mary's been giving me.
Sure, she's got sense. Now, look, Tom, we are partners. You're the artist, I'm the businessman. I don't always expect you to realize why I do certain things, but sometimes it pays to give in to the other guy. I do ask that you let me handle the business end. After all, I have our interest at heart, you know that.
All I know is we were happy before Master Torg came along. I wish we'd never set eyes on him.
This is lovely.
Very lovely.
It was a heavenly supper.
I was right, wasn't I? The restaurant was good and cheap.
I don't know so much about being cheap. I couldn't help seeing the bill.
I spread myself. What is the expression? I went to town. After all, tonight is a special occasion.
Oh, is it? Why, your birthday?
In a way it is. Tonight I was reborn into a new world. Tonight I'm happy. You did that for me.
Haven't you ever been happy before?
I nearly was. Once.
Tell me about yourself.
You are interested?
Of course. After all, you walk into our lives, nobody from nowhere, as you put it. Anybody would be interested, especially a woman.
But I don't want any woman to be interested. Only you.
All right, then. Relieve my morbid curiosity.
As a boy, my home was an unhappy place. I was sent to school, a charity school. I was small, the other boys were big, and they made my life a misery. Physically, I couldn't compete with them. But mentally...
Yes?
I ran away. I starved, got odd jobs here and there. Until one day, I discovered I had a gift. A great gift. I could control animals. They obeyed me. They were frightened of me. And I reveled in the power I had. You know, Mary, it's a great thing, power. Makes you feel a king. Especially if all your life you've been made to feel a beggar.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yes, I could control animals by my will. And so I said to myself, if animals, why not men? Men and women, that higher form of animal life.
You haven't much time for humanity, have you?
I hate it. At least I hated it until I love you, Mary. You hear me? I love you. If I'm warped and bitter, it's only because fate has kicked me around. But you can make me happy. You can give me peace.
I'm sorry, Torg. I'm very sorry.
It's Tom, isn't it?
Yes, it's Tom. Deep in my heart, I know it'll always be Tom.
I understand.
We're still friends, aren't we?
Yes, we're still friends. I suppose we'd better go home.
Yes. Let's go home.
This is the last of the small stuff, Phil.
Okay.
Well, there's another night the eighth wonder of the world has avoided his share of the work. Only this time he's taken Mary with him.
I'll talk to him.
Talk to him. Why the hell don't you fire him?
Because he's the difference between prosperity and our packing up.
I'd rather join the bread line than tell you to that little rat.
Yeah, so would I.
That's easy talk. I'll lay even money you'd change your tune if Torg walked out on us.
You're right. I'd change it to hallelujah.
Well, I'm surprised at Mary. She must know the amount of work there is to be done.
Doesn't mean a thing. She probably didn't notice the time.
She probably didn't.
Ah, so that doesn't excuse Mr. Blooming's swankpot hog. For 2 pins, I'll punch him
Now's your chance. There he is.
Heavens, they're packing. Do you know this is the first time I've ever dodged work?
I'll take full responsibility.
I know, but it's so selfish. I hate it.
Now run along and start packing. You can make your peace with them later.
Busy?
What did you say you'd do for 2 pins, William?
Yes, my dear. Now, look here, Mr. Torg. You know as well as I do that we all have to pull together in this game. But you, with your blooming la-di-da and big cigar and motor car, who do you ruddy well think you are?
One of your bosses.
Eh? Is that right, Governor?
Haven't you told him?
Yes, he's right. I made him a partner. He has a third interest.
But why? What for?
Because, my fat friend, I'm a considerable asset to this show. Remember that. And also remember that ringmasters are 5 a penny.
Where do you think you're going? And where's Mary?
In the van. I gave her a good meal and a rather short respite from this somewhat tawdry atmosphere.
Why, you... Hypnotize that one.
What a beauty!
Tom, why in the hell didn't you control yourself?
He's had that coming to him for a long time.
Come on, get on to your jobs, everybody. Keep busy. That goes for you too, Torg. Willie, don't stand there like a stuffed owl. Get on with your work.
I remember that.
Tom, give him a hand.
So you've made Torg a partner. That's grand. Before you know where you are, I'll have you out in your ear and be running this outfit on his own.
That's what you think.
Torg, a partner. Torg, threatening to sack me. Me who's been with this outfit for I don't know how many years. If Tom hadn't done it, I'd have fucked him myself.
Why didn't you?
Didn't want to get the sack.
You make me sick. You colonel.
Oh, Evie.
Hello, Mary. Oh, nerves.
No? No.
Oh, yes. I think you are a little tired.
But
I've been watching you. Come, I want to talk to you.
No, Torg, please.
Come. Yes, Mary, I've been watching you, and you are tired. You wouldn't go on if you had your choice, would you?
Well, I suppose everyone...
Would you? Turn and look at me. It is true, isn't it? You would like to rest.
Yes.
Tonight, on the trapeze, you will be tired.
Yes.
When you are swinging with your head downwards, ready to catch Tom, you will be so tired. Say it.
I will be so tired.
You will not be able to hold him. Remember that.
Yes.
You must remember.
I must remember.
Now, Mary, you will know nothing of this talk, will you?
Nothing.
Oh, there you are, Mary. You're on in a minute.
Yes, Willie.
Hello, kid.
Hello.
You've been talking with Torg.
Yes.
What's he been saying to you? Mary, I asked you what Torg had been saying.
Something about...
Yes?
Something about...
Okay, Mary, we're on.
Just a minute, Tom, I want...
Sorry, we're on.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor of introducing the celebrated Miss Mary and her partner, Tom Danton. The only performers in this country who, working at a dizzy height, perform the most amazing aerial feat without a net. Miss Mary and Tom Danton.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Well, what's wrong?
Mary, I think...
Okay, Mary, pull me up.
I can't, Tom. I'm tired.
Come on, come on.
Something's haywire.
I can't hold you.
Try it, try it.
I'm tired.
Why doesn't she pull him up?
She can't.
Get the net. Get the emergency net.
Get the net. Get the emergency net.
That's no need for both of us to crash.
Only 2 minutes, please, Mr. Danton.
Thank you. Hello, Tom. How do you feel?
How's Mary? Where is she?
Oh, she's all right.
Look, Phil, you've got to tell me. Did Mary fall too?
She's all right, I tell you. She didn't fall. She'll be here to see you later on. Now, don't you worry.
I was so scared when she said she was tired and couldn't hold me. That's why I had to let go.
What?
There's no need both of us to fall. She was so weak.
Wait a minute. Mary said she couldn't hold on?
Of course. She was all in. Over-rehearsed, I guess. My fault.
Your fault?
We must let him rest now, Mr. Danton.
All right. Well, Tom, anything you want?
No. Just give my love to Mary.
I will. Thank you. Mary?
Who is it?
Phil.
Oh, come in.
I want to talk to you.
How is Tom?
Cracked up, but I guess he'll be all right.
Phil?
I'm going to find out just how this accident happened. So suppose you tell me just how my brother happened to fall.
I've told you I don't know.
Oh, so you still don't know? You were up there holding him. Why don't you know?
I just don't, Philip. It seems a sort of blank.
Then why did you tell him you couldn't hang on?
I didn't tell him that.
Tom said you did.
No, I couldn't have said that.
I have no reason to doubt Tom.
I tell you, the whole thing's just a blank.
So you said.
Honestly, Phil, I just don't know how it happened.
You knew enough to hang on yourself, didn't you?
Yes.
Perhaps you were a bit absent-minded, thinking about Torg.
Phil, don't talk like that.
Listen, I'll talk to you any way I like. I'll tell the world. I'll take a page out in every trade paper so that everybody will know just what kind of a double-crosser you are. Believe me, if you ever work again...
That's enough, Phil. Come out here and talk to me.
Well, what do you want?
Calm yourself, Phil. That's not the way to clear it up.
Oh, so I'm wrong again. What's gotten into all of you?
A rotten influence called Torg. You know that, and you shut your eyes to it because of the show.
Oh, this guy's got you all scared. Don't you know he's just putting on an act?
This is no act, Phil. It's on the level.
Sure, it's on the level. While they're working?
It's on the level all the time.
What are you getting at?
Mary's under Torg's control any time he chooses. I believe it's through him that Tom crashed.
How can that be?
There's more in this than we realize. I'm a woman, and I feel the influence of this man. It's uncanny.
Oh, nonsense.
Don't be so stupid, Phil. You've got to do something. He's dangerous.
If I thought you were halfway right... Okay, I'll handle this. Torg! Hey, Torg. I want to talk to you.
Yes?
I want to find out what caused Tom's fall.
Why ask me, Mr. Danton?
Because I think you know.
Indeed. Your intelligence surprises me.
Just a moment. I have a hunch you're working everything for your own ends, and that goes for Mary, too. Since Tom isn't here to speak for himself, I'm doing the talking for him. Now listen, Torg. It may be easy for you to put the influence on a young girl, but you're not putting the influence on me.
Don't yell at me!
Yell at you! I'll speak to you any way I like. I have a hell of a good mind to choke the life right out of you.
Just try.
Why, you slimy little...
Come on, guys. Take it easy, Governor. Take it easy. Now, don't upset yourself. We don't want to lose our nerve.
Okay. Okay, you can let me go. Now, get this. Pack up and get out. Get out while you're still able.
All right, Mr. Danton. I'll go.
But in my own time.
Where are you off?
We're going to the hospital to see Tom.
Poor boy. Give him my love and ask him if there's anything he wants.
I will.
Dinner at 1 sharp. Remember that.
I will.
And don't come back smelling of beer.
I won't. I'll buy some peppermints. One of these days I'll... What are you laughing at, silly born sailor?
Danton's Empire Circus.
Everything all right?
Yes.
Where are you going?
To say goodbye to Phil. I must do that.
Of course you must. Go along.
Where are you going?
I'm leaving with Tor. But I couldn't go without saying goodbye, Phil.
Mary, any argument I've had with Torg doesn't include you. What makes you think you ought to quit?
It's not that I think I ought to quit, but if Torg leaves, there won't be any act. I can't work without him.
Listen, Mary, I'm your friend, but at the same time, I'm your boss. You've got to work with anyone I say.
I know, Phil.
Let's try to get this thing straight. Get on with your work, everybody. Listen, Torg. You can't take my people away like this.
I? What is it to do with me? If I went alone, she would follow, wouldn't you?
Yes.
You see? Are you ready, Mary?
Wait a minute.
Yes, Mr. Danton. Ready to talk business?
Yes, I'm afraid I'm ready to talk business. Because I don't want to lose Mary.
May I remind you that Mary is nothing without me?
Yeah, I get that.
Then shall we both be reasonable?
Okay, we'll be reasonable. Carry on as you were. We'll try to forget the whole thing.
All right. For this time, we will forget it.
You're letting it get you down, Phil.
I guess you're right.
Well, that's not the way to handle it.
Oh, Mary used to be such a swell kid.
Used to be. Well, she still is.
Yeah, then why does she let a slug like Torg run her around? It doesn't make sense.
Listen, Phil, just because we don't understand it doesn't mean it can't be explained. Now, if you got something wrong with your eyes, you'd go to an eye specialist, wouldn't you?
Of course.
Well, if you'd got something wrong with your mind...
You mean that Mary?
No. It's getting that way. Oh, Phil, she's got to see a doctor.
See a doctor? She's seeing plenty of one now. Dr. Stephen Torg.
That's just it. We've got to do something about it. A specialist, Phil.
Yes. An expert on the mind. A psychiatrist. But Torg's act is 100% in my show. If he should...
Yes, but it's what his influence is doing outside the show, Phil. Listen, Phil. Tom crashes. Torg makes you give him an interest in the business. He tries to get Mary to run away with him. There's been nothing but trouble ever since he came here.
Where do we find this specialist? Mary, Dr. Wilson here is a psychiatrist. He's very interested in hypnotism. He's heard a lot about your act.
I'd very much like to have a little talk with you, Miss Mary, if I may.
By all means. What do you want to know?
Well, I'll leave you two alone. I'll have a cigarette.
Right.
Do sit down, won't you?
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Now, tell me, Miss Mary, do you feel any ill effects from these performances of yours?
No, none at all.
And when you're performing, are you aware of what you're doing all the time?
Yes.
All the time?
Yes, except, of course, during the act. Then I'm controlled by Stephen. Dr. Torg.
Oh, he's a doctor, is he?
Well, we call him one.
I see. And you don't really know what you're doing when you're under his control?
No, but then, of course, I don't have to worry about anything. My partner does that for me.
I quite appreciate that. You don't find yourself in any way resenting this hypnosis?
Oh, good gracious, no, why should I? After all, I never asked to do anything that hurts me. Besides, he's most considerate.
Oh, that's splendid. You're very fortunate, Miss Mary. Does Dr. Torg use anything like this?
Yes, he does.
Do you mind looking into it for a moment?
I'm quite used to this sort of thing, you know.
I suppose you are. Now, this may make you feel a little sleepy. Are you a little sleepy?
Not in the least. I'm sorry.
Now, please concentrate. You can sleep, you know. You can close your eyes. Well, that's all right, Miss Mary. Thank you. That's all I wanted to know. I'm quite satisfied.
I'm glad you're satisfied, Doctor.
You, I take it, are Dr. Stephen Torg.
Yes, how do you do?
I'm interested in this alleged control you have over Miss Mary here.
So are a lot of other people, Doctor. And it is not only alleged, it is complete and absolute, as you, of all people, should realize.
Indeed.
What are you doing here?
Oh, I've been eavesdropping.
I'm not surprised. Get out.
Certainly. Mary?
Just a moment, Mary. I want to talk to you.
Mary?
What can we do?
Nothing, I'm afraid.
Are you sure of that?
Reasonably sure.
But supposing I took her to see Tom. After all, they were in love. If she saw him lying there all bandaged up, it might help, huh?
Yes, it might. It can't do any harm anyway. I can't say what the result would be, but yes, I should take her to see him.
This control, as you call it, is it just going on and on? Is there nothing that can stop it?
It's obviously a case of willing cooperation, and no other control can intervene.
Well, if Torg should die, what would happen to Mary?
In that case, she'd pass into a state of hypnosis, which would gradually merge into a natural sleep. On awakening, she'd remember nothing about it and become her normal self again.
Thank you, sir.
Not at all.
Mary.
Hello, Tom. How are you?
She's here at last.
Mary, what's wrong?
Tom, I've so wanted to see you.
Have you? It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Yes, I suppose it has.
Mary isn't well, Tom. I think it's a reaction.
Oh, there's no need to worry. I'm going to get better.
I'm so glad.
Well, that's fine. Listen, dear. If there's anything on your mind, something that's worrying you that you want to tell me, you'd better say so. I think I'll understand.
Yes. There's something I want to say.
Yes?
Please leave me alone. I don't want to talk.
Oh, don't worry. I understand all right.
You don't. Listen, Tom, Mary's trying to say that she hasn't changed her mind about anything. Isn't that so, honey?
We mustn't stay too long, enough.
You better take her away, Phil. She wants to go.
Stephen would be angry if I'm late.
Stephen? Torg. So that's it, isn't it? Well, why don't you come right out and say so?
Listen, I'm trying to tell you. She can't help it. It isn't her fault. Can't you get that?
You must both think I'm pretty dumb. Goodbye, I've had enough.
Come on, Mary. Mary.
Associated with such an unqualified success.
Tonight's return, sir.
525 pounds. A lot of dough, Mason.
Yes, sir. We're doing very well.
Yeah, we're doing very well.
Good night, sir. Good evening.
Hello, George. Hello there.
Tom, Phil, why, you old so-and-so. Good to see you. Here, sit down and take the load off your feet.
Well, I told you to come back, didn't I? How are you?
Oh, fine, but how are you? That's much more important.
Oh, pretty good. Have to go around with this stick for a while, but they tell me in a week or two I'll be perfectly well.
That's swell.
You certainly seem to be playing to some business. From the noise the customers are making, it might be a cup final. What's the matter? Is the success story getting stale?
Staler than last week's bread. Have you seen the new posters?
Yeah. Torgan Danton. He's muscled into some tune, hasn't he?
He has. I should have kicked him in the pants weeks ago.
What, and gone broke?
Willingly.
How's Mary?
She's all right.
Is she happy?
That kid's not with us any longer. Outwardly, yes. She eats, drinks, talks with us, but the mind, the soul, the real Mary we all love belongs to that little rat.
Meaning Torg.
Who else? Have a drink?
Yes, just a small one.
You know, Tom, hypnotism is a bad thing in the hands of bad boys. You remember when I brought her to the hospital?
I'm not likely to forget it.
She was under his influence then. You didn't realize it, but I did.
And all the time I thought that
all the time you thought she was high-hatting you. That wasn't Mary. That was a dummy, and Torg was her vent.
And still is.
Sure. They're doing a new act, you know. Follows this, I've got to announce him. Would you like to see it?
Is it riskier than the last one?
Just a bit.
Ariel?
Yeah.
Phil, suppose one night, in the middle of the act, Torg were to turn off the power.
Well, that's what's worrying me. If he ever double-crossed Mary, I'd...
Well, isn't there something you can do to stop it?
Nothing. Yet. Come on.
Don't tell me she's going to...
She'll be all right.
Ladies and gentlemen, in view of the importance of the sensational act that is to be presented to you, I wish to introduce Mr. Phil Danton himself.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we now reach the high spot of our program. The amazing act performed by Miss Mary under the hypnotic control of Dr. Stephen Torg. This is the act that has been the sensation of 3 continents, and one which is generally admitted could not possibly take place if Miss Mary were not entirely under the control of the doctor. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me pleasure to present Miss Mary and Dr. Stephen Torg. Doctor, would you mind taking your places, please? Ladies and gentlemen, owing to the exceptional circumstances under which this act is performed, I must ask for absolute silence, please. How do you feel tonight, Mary?
Fine, Stephen.
All right. Can we go?
All set.
You should never have allowed this.
Get onto the wire.
Dr. Todd, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. All right, Mary. Come along. Come along, Mary. Come along. Again, Mary. Again. All right, Mary. Stay there. Stay there until I tell you to go.
Mary!
Remain in your seats, everyone, and keep quiet.
All right, Mary. Don't move. You are safe. You are safe, Mary. Do as I tell you. Back. Back, Mary. Hand over hand. Back. 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 Hand over hand. Back. Back.
This rope was deliberately cut. Now, it's no good kidding ourselves. There isn't one of us that doesn't feel a sense of relief at what's happened. But that sense of relief won't extend to the police. They'll just regard it as deliberate murder. They'll grill every one of us until they find out who's guilty. We might just as well save a lot of time and find out amongst ourselves right now. As far as I was concerned, I was sitting over there watching the show. Where were you, Willie?
Where was I? You see, where was I? Blimey, you don't think that I ate in the little basket, but...
Now, Willie, where were you?
He was standing over there by the entrance. I saw him because I'd just come out of the pay box.
Okay, that disposes of Willie. Jim. What were you doing?
Well, I was in the caravan having a drink. You don't believe me,
Of course I believe you, but the police want confirmation.
But I had no reason.
Okay, you were in the van having a drink. Now, let's see who else...
Stop this stupid questioning. I did it.
Phil.
I cut the rope, and I'm glad of it. Tog was destroying all of us. It was the worst day of our lives when he walked in. I started this thing, and I finished it. I brought him into the show, stood by while he turned Mary into a puppet, shut my eyes to the fact that he tried to murder Tom. I even made him a partner. And then I found out the only possible way I could stop his control over Mary was by death. Well, that's all. Somebody call the police.
One moment, Mr. Denton. This man didn't die because of the fall. He was shot.
What's that?
Shot through the head.
But when?
I should say as he was falling to the ground.
Which direction did the bullet come from?
The bullet entered the skull above the left ear and must have been fired by a first-rate marksman standing somewhere in that direction.
Remember me? Yes, Doctor. I shot him.
Dora.
It's all right, Phil. You mean more to the show than I do. You can get along very well without me. I could sense what was in your mind. Only I got him first. Besides, I happen to be rather fond of Mary and Tom. I wanted to be the one to make things come right for him. Jim, call the police.
I can't. I'll attend to that. Mr. Denton.
Tom, darling.
Mary.
Ladies and gentlemen, once more we bring to your town the thrill of a lifetime.